Hey, what up, world? Andrew back here. Took a couple weeks off. Just holidays are really tough around M not being here anymore, and especially the second time around, I found that it's become more difficult. So I just took some weeks off just to kind of mentally take care of myself, and now we're back. And this week we are talking with my parents, Tom and Debbie. I'll give them names instead of just
Hello.
mom and dad. Um, but they get to kind of talk about their daughter-in-law and how just talking about M once again. We're just kind of wanting to bring more light to who she was as a person, and hopefully this can get to the right people to say something and give any tips that might be still out there for trying to get some justice as well. Um, so yeah, we'll kind of just start chatting about my favorite person, um, and we'll go from there. So I guess the first thing for both you guys is like, uh, how do you remember meeting Emerald first?
Well, I remember that it was your birthday. I think we went to Tom's Diner downtown.
Yeah, it's not there anymore, but
Yeah.
yeah,
And there's a bunch of people, I think from your work. I guess I don't
yeah,
know where you worked at that time.
that was still Browns.
Oh. So anyway, M was there, but this girl sat in between the two of you. But she handled it with grace, like she always did everything. And I just thought she was just the cutest thing. I guess I didn't really know that you were that serious or interested in her, but I think you had told us a little bit about her. So it was kind of like that was our first meeting, and I just thought she was the cutest thing. And
Because I didn't bring a lot of females around you
no,
guys
no,
in a dating
no.
relationship sense.
Andrew never dated seriously in high school or college. So this is like the first person that he was actually interested in, I think, that he brought around anyway. So yeah,
So yeah, agree. It's a big step to
yeah.
introduce to your parents. So what about you, pops?
Yeah, same thing. I remember that. That's what it was, your birthday party, and yeah, that's where I met her, and she just seemed really nice. Always had a big smile on her face. Kind of quiet there, but again, she was just meeting us, so it was very good, very
And
nice.
from that meeting, was there anything that stood out as far as like any of the qualities that you found later on? I mean, we all talk about how generous she was and all of that, but
I don't.
was there any instance like at the beginning where you're like, oh yeah, she's
I didn't.
willing to do anything type person?
Not from that meeting,
No,
of course, eventually. But I mean, I just thought she was adorable for one thing. But I think the biggest thing about just hanging around with her more is I realized she just accepted people for who they were. Did not judge anyone, and she never really said anything bad about anybody. And that's what I really liked about her because that's something I struggle with. So being around her made me a better person and made me just accept people more and for who they were. And yeah, that's I think just being around her made me a better person. So yeah,
yeah, she just seemed relaxed with us, and I felt good around her, and I think she felt fine around us. So it wasn't like an awkward meeting or anything. It's just kind of natural. We all just seem to get along.
And what would you say is her best quality from just in general? Like after having known her for, I guess what it would have been
gosh,
eight
8 years.
years or so?
I mean, I think that's what I just think like just her acceptance of everybody, and she was always willing to help every time you guys came over for dinner or a holiday or something like that, she always wanted to help. And I think she got kind of annoyed with me sometimes because I was like, no, just sit down, because I knew that she was probably exhausted from working, and I wanted her to relax, but I think she wasn't happy unless she was helping.
She
So,
wasn't selfish. She
yeah,
always wanted to help everybody out.
yeah,
So that's what I remember.
Yeah, and I think we've said it on the past also. It's the Thanksgivings and such where she wanted to make sure that everyone else was fed first before she ate.
yeah.
And even then,
Yeah.
it was still a force to get her
Sit
to
down.
sit down and eat. So, um,
And obviously, our family is much, much smaller than her family. So, I feel like she almost felt awkward enjoying her food and her meal and sitting down and chatting. And, but I like to take care of her because I know that she took care of everybody else. So,
and you guys helped me out with proposing to her, or at least you knew
mhm.
about it. I took you, mom, to
Ring
ring
shop.
shop, which for those of you out there that haven't had to do that, high anxiety. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of options, a lot of choices, but just communicate what you want, how much you want to spend. They help you out. So just remember that. Sidebar. Um, so once, and I guess you guys obviously then you knew that I was proposing, and you probably figured out that she was gonna say yes, or at least assume so.
I thought
I mean, with
was
yeah.
pretty sure.
So how did that? Do you remember how it made you feel knowing that she would become your daughter-in-law?
Well, I was very excited, and I was excited to help you pick out the ring, and I was excited to go, help her wedding dress shop. And because I have obviously you and your brother only, so who doesn't want a girl to hang out with and shop with and buy things for? And I mean, I was thrilled that she was the one that he chose.
And I liked it because I was happy that she made you happy. And, that was the main thing. Because I always told you and Pat, I said, well, not always, but I mentioned it before that I said, when you guys find that special girl and she meets all your requirements or what you're looking for, you got one more test she has to pass. That test right there. So she had to pass the mom test, and she did that with flying colors. So
Yeah, she
that's
passed it from the beginning. There was
yeah.
no like, because you know how I am. I don't like everybody. So, but
Like you just said a little bit ago, yeah.
but
Okay.
she was like from the start. I knew she was your person. So,
And as you guys can see in the background, we've got a new photo. I am over at my parents today, so a new photo that's always hanging up here. It was from vacation the summer in 2018, so it was just
the year
before
you
we
got
got
married.
married, or yeah, a couple months before we got married. What kind of memories do you guys have of like the vacations that we all took together, or places and all that? I mean, I know we didn't do a ton, but obviously we were over here a lot for holidays and spending the night, so I kind of consider that kind of a vacation because we're all together and doing stuff. So is there anything that you could say about that, just vacations and seeing her relaxed?
Yeah, I feel like this is the only family vacation we went on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
But
We had a
yeah, it
lot of
was fun.
get-togethers.
It was fun because I think she, like you said, she was relaxed, and I think she enjoyed seeing Michael on the beach, and um, she just didn't have to do anything. We just hung out and did whatever we
There's
wanted
no
every
time,
day, and
no
no
time
timeline, and
line, and it's
um,
just easy.
yeah.
Are
So
there any other stories that you have that you remember about her? Obviously,
I mean, I remember
dress shopping and
oh
stuff like
yeah,
that, but
well, that was yeah. Like I said, I wanted to do that, and get her dressed for her and help her shop. And it was funny because when we went dress shopping, she had a certain thing in mind. She wanted a dress with pockets. And she wanted a big poofy dress. Well, she's a teeny girl. So we so we did get a big dress with a poofy skirt and a bedazzled top, and it had pockets, and she tried it on and she said, because it was all bedazzled on the top. She said, "I look like Wonder Woman." Like it, because it was just the way the what do you call that? Like the crystals were and stuff, sequins, yeah, were on her chest. And so she just started laughing, and I said, "Yeah, I'm like that dress. You're like drowning in that dress." So, so we switched to more slimmer, or yeah, slimmer fitting dresses because she was so tiny. Um, and I think she tried on maybe like 3 or 4 more, and then she tried the one on that she wore, and then I think, oh, and that was funny too because she said, "Can you take a photo of me, but don't text it to me because I don't want Andrew to see it." I said, "Okay." So then the next day she texted me and she's like, "Can you text me a picture? I promise Andrew won't see it." So I thought that was kind of funny. And then I think the next night or the next day or the next night, I forget. Then all of her aunts and then Michael had to approve it too, which I think he could have cared less. But um, so she tried it on again, and then that was the dress she picked, and she looked gorgeous, of course. So, but that's my one of my favorite memories. Um, I remember the first Thanksgiving she came with Michael. Um, and again, like your dad said, like she just fit in. It was easy. She like we played board games and
Was that when she won Monopoly or
No,
whatever?
that
no,
was a
that was a
Whatever that
couple
we
years
played.
later.
Okay.
Beeropoly,
Beer-nopoly.
Brewopoly,
Something.
something like that.
Brewnopoly.
Yeah,
She beat all of us in that
but
badly.
I kind of think because our family is so much smaller than her family. Um, I don't know. I don't want to say she felt awkward, but maybe because she didn't have that much to do to take care of everybody else. But
Well, yeah. I mean, when you only have one turkey and 3 sides versus
yeah,
2 turkeys and 18 of them,
and you only have
it's a lot
one
different.
brother,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Do you have any stories that you would like to share?
No, I was just thinking the one about like we just mentioned, about the Beernopoly, Brewnopoly, whatever that is. Yeah, she was just, I think she felt a little bit guilty
Oh, maybe
because
that's the
she
word.
was whipping us. I mean, badly. And she was a good player. That's the bottom line there. She played us well, but again, I think she felt a little guilty because, she was over here. And I think that's my game. I think I got it for Christmas. It's the only time we've ever played it.
Mm.
But yeah, but I think she enjoyed winning. But again, she felt a little bit guilty, and I told her, I said, "No, you beat us fair and square. It's just a game." So yeah, I just remember that. And again, like in Florida, how laid back everybody was, and there was no real schedule uh, to get things done. So it was quite enjoyable.
That's the other thing I loved about her is she loved our little dogs. Whenever we would go on vacation, they would always take. Well, I don't think you guys ever took Lola, did
Yep.
you? Oh, did you?
We had
Okay.
Lola and Izzy once, yeah.
And I remember I think the very first time you guys had her, and I forget if it was just Izzy, but anyway, Em said she wouldn't go in her kennel to go to bed. So Em had to end up sleeping on the couch with her so that she would go to sleep because she was crying. So, but she was always so sweet with our dogs, and um,
Yeah, she loved animals.
yeah.
She always wanted as many as we could have. So I know she told me when she was growing up, she'd come home with chickens and pigs and all sorts of stuff, and just like this is what we have. We have more animals.
Mm.
So
course, we were supposed to go on another vacation, but then that didn't happen. But I remember her texting me, I don't know, probably a couple weeks before she was taken, and said that she dreamt she was on vacation and she was just looking so forward to it. And yeah, we were all looking forward to that one too, but that one didn't happen. So
Yeah, and I guess it'd be another good time just to kind of remind everyone once again there's still a reward out there for any sort of information. Over $32,000 is available, and you can remain anonymous and turn in any information that you have to the Crime Stoppers, which I'll put that link down at the bottom again for you to be able to share that just individually. And yeah, you can remain anonymous. You just let Crime Stoppers deal with whatever tip you give them, and if it does lead to the to getting us justice, then they are able to give you some part of that reward money. Uh, so yeah, I think that's obviously, once again, that's why I'm doing this, is just trying to remind everyone of what an amazing person that M is, and how many people that she did affect in this world, and continues to affect. I mean, I think every day I'm trying to do something that would make her proud and would make her happy. Um, so, yeah.
yeah, last year on the anniversary, I like the way you told us that just do something for someone else in her honor. And like that day, I brought donuts to work for everybody. So I feel like that's something
She would have done
she would have done
something like
that.
that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
random
Yeah.
act of kindness, for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, whatever person did this, persons, like you took away a beautiful person, you took away, you know, my son and his wife's future. You took away any, chance for us to have grandchildren other than Michael. Um, and it just stinks. Like, I can't believe that you're going to walk around with this horrible thing that you did for the rest of your life. Like, you just need to go tell somebody.
yeah, I mean, that's exactly put how I've felt at times as well. So what do you guys, how are you going to remember her most, or just in general? I know it is a big, all-encompassing question, but is there anything that maybe a song or something that happens in daily life that
Well,
it's
any
just
Tom
kind of
Petty
like,
Yeah,
song
Tom
I
Petty
hear,
songs.
I always think about her. And especially the one, you probably don't even know it because you're not a fan, but the one about let's roll another joint and roll on down the road. I just feel like that encompasses her spirit,
Mhm.
just because I think in a way she was a free spirit, but she was also like so close to family and caring for other people. Um, but I do think she had a little bit of that free spirit in her. So
Well, I just have a hard time any reference to the Raiders, I just don't like them. But that was her team. So when I think about them, I always think about her. So
and you
and
quietly root for them just a little bit,
yeah,
as long
real
as it's not
quiet.
against
Yeah,
the
real
Broncos.
quietly root for them. But no, I know she loved her Raiders, so it was fun to talk about that. And of course, with everyone in the family against her, it was kind of funny. She just rolled with it, but she knew that she was fighting an uphill battle. And for the last number of years, the Bronco fans really can't say much after the game to her. There's not much to say. It's already been said. The Raiders winning. So, yeah, I remember that about her. Raiders and Tom Petty.
and the other thing is just that she made you happy, and that was
Yeah.
your person, and that she was a good mom to Michael, and she was just a kind spirit. So that's what I will always remember. And I mean, I talk to her. I say hi to her when I walk by her picture. Actually, I told Dad last night that I thought she came to visit me because I was just dozing off and somebody pushed me in the back of the head. I mean, it was,
It wasn't me this
I
time.
could feel it. So I was like, So anyway, I feel like she's around us and she's
She's looking
guiding us. She's
Yeah,
looking out
she's
for
looking
us.
out
Yeah.
for us.
So
I would agree with all of that. I do. Yeah, there's signs I think every day that are small, but then there's ones like getting pushed in the back of the head of, or sometimes I do feel like I just need a good old smack, to be honest, and just go do whatever that you're trying to do. So, and she would always do that for me. But
and I think she, I know it's hard, but I think she would not want us to be all boohoo, even though we are a lot of the time. But she wouldn't want us to. But we just have to remind ourselves of that. And I think you just have to have an open heart. You might not always see the subtle signs, but because we get so busy and everything, but you just have to have an open heart. And yeah, so
great. Is there anything else that you guys want to say about him?
no, I just miss
No.
her. I miss her a
Yeah.
lot. But
Yeah,
and you're right. It's almost like this. Everybody always is like, well, we got through every holiday for the first year, but I don't know. This past Christmas was almost harder than the first Christmas.
yeah. I
So
think I've shared it with some people that it's the first year, it's just the getting through the holidays. You're kind of like, okay, got through them. And then they come around a second time, and it's almost a realization that this is now a new
permanent.
normal that you have to kind of take on, and you have to accept it. Even you don't want to, but it is just the new reality that you are living. So, yeah. Well, thanks for doing this, guys.
Oh. Great.
You're welcome.
I do also want to let everyone out there in the world know I am working on kind of like a little fundraiser thing for the in memory of Emerall, that we're looking to do something in April of getting some donations from stuff and being able to raffle those things off and raise money to then donate to the community table in Arvada in Emerald's name. She is always was doing a lot of philanthropic and community service through the Elks Lodge, and I want to continue to be able to keep her name present in doing community service type things. So more information will come on that. It is going to be in April, kind of closer to the day of her having been taken, and just keep a lookout for any of those updates. I'm going to be kind of reaching out for some donation stuff, or if you want to donate, I'll figure out some way to make that happen as well. And but yeah, just want to put that out there because that is a big project that I'm working on. That's just it's going to be really close and dear to me. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on that. Other than that, continue to share this, and hopefully we can get some justice and make this persons that did this take responsibility for it of the type of person that they took away from us all. So until next time, thanks guys.
Bye.